Hey, what's going on, everyone? I appreciate y'all coming here and checking out this Fallout 76 video. In this one, I'm going to be sharing with y'all some things that Bethesda quietly shared over on their Discord within an Ask Me Anything meeting that they had. There was a little over 100 members watching this. I think it was 140 something to be exact. So yeah, not many people tuned into this, so it was quietly shared with a few people. But in this video, I'm going to be breaking down things that they announced in this and also sharing with y'all them saying it themselves too for further proof. Hope you all find this enjoyable as well as enlightening for the future of Fallout 76. It was looking a little dark, but now there's some promising news coming. Pretty soon, it seems. But yeah, before I get into all this though, just want to let you all know that I do have a giveaway going on. It's about to be ending on November 23rd. If you guys already know about this, feel free to skip it with the timestamps that will be provided in this video. But if you don't, all you got to do to participate in this is just simply go down below in the description and follow my Family Fitness Facebook account. And it's literally that simple. I'm going to be choosing a random winner on November 23rd. The winner will get to choose from an Xbox Series S or a Nintendo Switch. Both of these will be used. My budget can't really afford a brand new one to give away at the moment, but I figured this would still be something cool to give back to my community. So yeah, consider participating in that sometime. It's going to be ending soon on November 23rd once again. Anyways, first we're going to be talking about a question that the developers got asked, and that was, will there be any new expeditions in the coming future? And the developers had some promising news to say, not just about expeditions, but about something else. Check it out.
Will there be any new expeditions?
Oh, I think so. I can't say when, but boy, do we have some fun ideas floating around for some new expeditions. Expeditions came about looking at player feedback, right, and kind of our elder players wanting that bigger challenge and that next step up in power. And so with Gleaming Depths, I think that we were able to accomplish that, right, on the first go. We learned some lessons from Gleaming Depths, I think, that we would apply to future raids. But yeah, stay tuned. I think there could be some more raids coming up.
So yes, they do have plans for some expeditions, but they also said yes, there will be some raids coming up. I wonder if they're going to involve us flying over somewhere specifically to do a raid. I don't know where our next expeditions or where the next raid will be exactly. I don't know. Where would you guys like to see us go for an expedition or a new raid? It seems like, though, they got some big plans coming for Skyline Valley. The next raid could be over there. I don't know for sure, though, but there are some big changes coming to Skyline Valley, as you can see here. Check this out.
This is for John, but maybe the whole group. I love Skyline Valley. Burning Springs is the new hotness, but its coming also brings the shuttering of Milepost Zero and caravans, and Skyline Valley is about to become very desolate. The region was an incredible addition to the map only a year ago, and some of us felt it already didn't get enough love. Can you talk to us about the plans for Skyline Valley, since it's now, aside from one world event, one nuke event, and one seasonal event, there's no ongoing endgame content left in the region. So what do we got going on?
Yeah, so we can't talk about Skyline Valley. However, as far as future stuff, however, what we can say is we love Skyline Valley too, and we are certainly not done with it.
So they did announce they are not done with Skyline Valley yet. They couldn't confirm anything or talk about anything quite yet because, you know, they also have things that they can't say or they'll get in trouble and possibly lose their job. So, yeah, they kept it under wraps, but it does seem like they do have future plans for Skyline Valley. Don't know exactly what's going to happen. Maybe that redness over there will clear up since, you know, most of us completed the story. Maybe it will evolve and it won't be as red over there anymore or something. That'd be cool. Anyways, carrying on here, something else that I thought was interesting that they talked about was the update to Gleaming Depths. I'm a big fan of the raid in Fallout 76, so this was definitely great information to me. Check this out, guys.
And Fang says, will we see any changes to the proposed raid loot changes, including the weekly cache? Currently, the overall changes seem to make the problem of getting people to clear the raid instead of farming the first boss much worse, while overall decreasing people's ability to earn 4 stars. with all the feedback in the channel for it not having any feedback on our current concerns over these changes, there's a real worry that it will go to live as proposed. And before we kind of get going with this, I want to take a moment to add a little bit of clarification to the weekly cash reward that players can receive for clearing the Gleaming Depths raid. So that cash provides a 4-star armor piece, power armor piece, melee weapon, and range weapon. So one clear of the Gleaming Depths raid will provide you that challenge reward, which gives you that's 4 pieces of 4-star loot. This wasn't exactly the clearest it could be in our PTS in our article. It's more clearly laid out in the upcoming patch notes that you'll see on December 2nd. But I saw this question. I was like, this is a perfect time for us to clear that up. But if the team wanted to say anything else about the upcoming Gleaming Depths raid changes and loot changes, please.
The intent was to encourage people to play through the whole experience, right? It's like if you want to farm one of the bosses, okay, but you're so much more incentivized to go through the whole experience, find a couple friends and go through and play the whole thing. So we wanted to make sure to reward players that did that. As far as the specific reward refactoring, Carl, you and I had spoken with Systems Design quite a bit on that. Do you have any more info on how that was arranged?
Yeah, I mean, part of it was definitely the desire to make other aspects of the raid feel appealing and not just kind of focus in on that very first fight. I'll say kind of as a blanket statement that we are keeping a close eye on the very, very long discussion that came out of that. We have that thread up on the PTS channel. We're also taking a look at how it behaves once the game goes out as well. There's a lot of questions that we have around raids in terms of how we want that to behave with our player base and how it's currently performing. This is a relatively large change that we do feel we need a little bit of time out there to see how it behaves. I would expect that this is a thing that we continue to iterate on with future updates. And the goal is, I think, generally we want more players to feel like they can take on raid content, but we don't want to remove that very specific challenge that our high level players are getting out of it. Especially any sort of content that brings players together in coordination, super positive. So we don't want to trivialize it, but we also don't want to shutter players out. So we've got a lot of plans for how we might want to address that in the future. For the immediate next steps in Burning Springs, it is more of a wait and watch with the current plan that we have going out there. I would expect us, though, to be respondent to that as we see it out in the wild.
Awesome.
So yeah, they are changing up the raid quite a bit with how things will be rewarded. We'll be getting a cash at the end, and as you heard, what they'll be rewarding us with from completing it. Super excited about these changes. Hopefully more people start getting involved with the raids. I got big plans to help people get more involved as well, to help people. So yeah, anyways, next up here that I wanted to get into that they talked about was the next gen update. As you can see, here's what they had to say about that.
The next question is from Ravnir. I apologize if I didn't get that right. This is for Bill. Hey guys, the native version for Fallout 76 has now been announced, and I'm really happy about it. Will it still be possible to play together with other people on last gen? What can we expect to see with this update?
Yeah, just that. So whether or not you're upgrading from PlayStation 4 to PlayStation 5 or Xbox One to Xbox Series S or X, you're going to be able to play with all of your friends on that platform. So nothing changes there. All the same stuff. Same achievements. You've got all your trophies. You've got your achievements. You got your characters. Yeah, nothing's changing there for you.
And the second part of that question was kind of what they might expect from the next gen.
At the initial release, just that, like making sure that those next gen versions are actually playing well and performing well on those next gen consoles. And then there will probably be some future optimizations that we make down the road. But right now, just getting them out and making sure they're performing right.
And to add to that a little bit, in between now and when that comes out, we've got some lighting and rendering improvements that are making their way into the game that players are going to notice as well. So sort of a iterative process that kind of really sort of comes to a head when we release those next gen versions. But most major patches from then until now should include improvements along the way too.
Yeah, and just to be specific, we are making the change over to DirectX 12. So that'll be one of the major updates that goes along with these new versions.
I'm glad they answered those questions because that was something I was genuinely curious about. We're going to be able to easily still play with PS4 players or regular Xbox One players. But if we are choosing to do the updated version, the next gen version, and play on Xbox Series S, X, and PS5 and whatnot, we're going to have better optimization. It seems like also they're going to be making better lighting and graphics improvements. So that's good to know. Hopefully they improve those shelter lightings. Oh my gosh, it's horrible. But yeah, awesome. Anyways, lastly here, I wanted to get into their plans for the Ohio update. Yes, we know we're getting Ohio as a map expansion in Fallout 76, but is there more to it? And it seems like they do have plans to expand on the Ohio region. Check this out.
This next question is for Rebecca, and it's from Cornstarch and Diesel Mage. They both kind of had the same question, and it's how come we can't explore all of Burning Springs? When seeing the PTS stuff, the map, we're showing there are boundaries that players definitely notice running into when playing Burning Springs during the PTS for the first time. So I was hoping that you could speak to those boundaries for the region.
Sure. Yeah. So for our first region expansion we ever did, Skyline Valley, we took the approach of having the entire border open so we could have folks come in from all different angles and seeing the region. It's great. So we got feedback on that of folks seeing everything at once. And we really, for this specific update, we wanted to see what happens if we go have this funnel to have it open up and feel like its own special part of the map. One of the things we're also very aware of too is whenever we do a map expansion, we're opening up a map and saying this is where content's going. It's really hard for us to then go back if we have to move player camps. So if we don't have a very strong, like this is what we want to do with this space idea and we can't do it all at once, it's helping us to help you guys to make sure that this is what we want to do with this specific space at this time. I saw a lot of feedback about the river as well. We would much rather save that for something else that we might or may not have planned for it to make that a better experience, as opposed to opening it up and then you guys put camps and then, hey guys, you know this cool camp that you built? We're going to bulldoze it. And that's just not a good feeling.
Yeah. Yeah, we definitely don't want to give something and then take it away in terms of like camp spaces and locations. Once you build a home there, we would love for you to feel comfortable in that home there. So I remember having this conversation too around the Skyline Valley update and My Outpost Zero, which we'll talk about a bit later in this AMA. Quick follow-up. Yeah, go for it.
Was the follow-up around this as well? I'll let you go ahead, Rich.
Yeah, kind of, but go for it.
Oh, I was going to say, just as a little caveat, it's been really great to see people care so much about Ohio. One of the jokes that I've made to the dev team internally is it is the most concentrated positive feedback we've gotten on that, and to see folks really excited about the region has been great. So yes, this is what we're giving for this specific patch, but if in doing so, we're allowing ourselves in the future space to expand, to develop, and give awesome new experiences for you guys, as opposed to just bulldozing camps and having to redo it.
Yeah. So this is kind of tied to it because in the PTS article, we mentioned that the main quest line is kind of like it's a part one for the region, and we also saw a bunch of questions asking for a bit of clarification about what does the team mean by that. Rebecca, I think you kind of spoke to it, but Carl, since I worked with you closely on those PTS notes, can you add to that about this being part one of the quest line for the region?
Not in a way that I can disclose information.
This moment.
So no, I can't.
So this is more of a confirmation that yes, the team does plan on doing more.
I'm not confirming nothing, Rich.
Okay.
But more than anything, I mean, most of it was just saying as the character Russ King is a character we all very much liked internally. His performance is awesome. His vibe is awesome. And we know that Burning Springs doesn't let you take his story to completion necessarily. So it opens him up as a character that we could explore in the future.
There it is. Awesome. Thank you.
So that's the reason why we can't access certain ports right now. They have plans to expand it in the future. Also, it seems like they're going to do a part 2 to the story. Don't know exactly what else they'll be adding. But yeah, this is all I'm going to be sharing in this video. Not going to jam pack it with everything in this one video for you guys to consume because there's a lot to take in here that they did share. Stay tuned for another video though that I'll be sharing with y'all some news of what they had to say during this AMA. Hopefully you guys found this information enjoyable and promising. I know I did personally. There was a lot of good things in here that I got out of. First off, there's going to be a new raid coming. There's going to be a part 2 to the Ohio region. They confirmed how the next gen update's going to be working, and they will be expanding on Skyline Valley. That's awesome. Confirmed right here, guys, from them. So yeah, I'm out of here though, everyone. As always, most importantly, appreciate y'all taking the time watching and listening. Until next time, peace.